Hey, MC here, and we are back with a couple of overlapping videos. One is all of the range gear goodie package that were mailed out by the Waynes, Ron and Misty, over at the Ron Wayne official YouTube channel. So thanks again for the stickers, targets, goodie pack. And then the Let's Paint a Gun series is wrapped up. So we've got the butt plate reinstalled on the back of the stock. We've got a couple of coats of clear sprayed over top of all of the paint. Ended up installing a True Glow fiber optic sight on this. And since this vent rib solder had loosened up in the past, and I took a grinder and ground it off, there isn't a lot of vent rib left. So the only part of it that's attached is still the little bit at the muzzle with the front bead. And then there's a little bit at the breech back here where it attaches up to the receiver. But it actually works out pretty good when you sight down this. This is a combination, like a yellow and orange fiber optic. And I'm going to try shooting this both eyes open, and what ends up happening is your right eye ghosts the image of the fiber optic over top of the bead that you can see with your left eye. And I've got some cardboard set out outside. We're going to grab some rounds. Actually, I got a few of them right here. We're going to shoot some of the Federal 12 gauge 2 3/4 ounce 7.5 shot. So we'll get that opened up. We'll use one of these guys' knives. Packaging open. And so we'll give a run with these Federal 12 gauge. See how it works out of this semi-auto. I've got two different choke tubes here. I've got the one that was in it when I received the gun, which I believe is a modified, that measures out at about 0.705. Yeah, about 0.075. And the other one I've got is, I believe, a turkey choke. This one is an Undertaker, and that measures, if I can focus the camera, 0.665. Come on, you want to be over here. There you go. So we'll run both chokes at different distances, set the camera up on a stand outside. We'll throw some ammo in this lovely range bag, throw in some hearing protection, some eye protection, grab the bag that used to sport all of that stuff. We'll grab a staple gun, our ears, and what else have we got in here? Extra staples, that's always good. And I believe somewhere on the bottom, we'll find some safety glasses before we make it outside. Oh, here they are over by the rest of the tools on the other bench. So we'll drag this outside. I'll grab my rangefinder so we can accurately measure what the range is. Again, we'll try it with a modified choke. We'll spin in that full choke. and we'll see what this paint does when we get the gun hot, if it blisters and fails, or if it holds together. And again, this was a Charles Daly. Have no idea which model, other than it's semi-automatic. It's probably 20 years old and had a really rough life. All in all, functionality wise, haven't had any problems with cycling, with it operating. This was my mother's second husband's shotgun. He had actually bought 2 of them, wore one totally out, cannibalized the first one, and then put all the parts into this one to keep this one running. So I think it turned out pretty decent. I like the paint job. I like the color splash in there. And we'll see if this holds up using just standard spray paints. Next up, we'll go outside. Alright, we'll get a little backyard shotgun range action going today. So we'll get the camera set up on the stand. We've got the new camouflage pattern shotgun sitting here. Still got to screw some choke tubes in it. We'll get some ranges out to some targets, get them stapled up as it's a little breezy, and we'll be right back. Alright, we've got some targets set up, different distances. We've got a little table set up, a couple of sandbags, so I'll do a rested firing on one of the choke tubes at a distance to see how it patterns. But then everything else I plan on doing just freestanding, fast pull-up, spot, shoot, as if you would targets, or game in the field. So we got the range bag. Again, thank you to the Ron Wayne channel for providing this as a prize. It carries my gear nice. I would have forgotten the choke tubes, except they fit in these convenient snack pouches. Who would have figured? You take the candy bars out and you can put other things in it. What an amazing concept. I'm going to start out with the modified choke first. So I'll get that installed before I load up the gun. And again, hearing protection, eye protection, safe environment. No cats are going to get shot, no dogs, no squirrels, no skunks. No other critters out here that we can see. We've already walked the area to make sure that we've minimized any risks. And I've got a tripod set up over here. So we'll see if this is a good vantage point. It almost covers them all. I'll move that back a little bit. Yep, I think we'll give that a run. And we'll pause it while I get my gear set and the chokes in. And we'll start out with that modified choke with the 12 gauge ammo. Stand by. Alright, we are 25, 25, 35, and about 17 yards out. So we'll get things loaded up and do some shooting. We are empty. Let's go walk down range, see how we did. So here is 25 yards over at the old rotten swing. See if we can get the light right on this. Was aiming center mass on the target. It doesn't look too bad. We've got pretty consistent coverage at 25 yards. I think if I had a sporting clay in this area with a 7.5 shot, we would definitely break it using the modified choke. Let's walk over, check out the one in the thornapple tree. And this one looks pretty peppered as well. So 25 yards, modified choke. Seems to have pretty good coverage. Looking back at where we are firing from, I would say a clay or a rabbit or anything at 25 yards would be pretty good with the modified. And I can see the levels going down already in this jug at 35. So we get penetration in. Do not see any penetration out, but that is kind of a thick jug. And they're all the way to the bottom. So this one's probably going to be drained before we get a chance to shoot with the full choke. Here, we'll lay it that way, keep some of the fluids in. And let's go check this willow. And the willow tree, we aimed at the top of the target. So we'll leave the bottom of the target for the other, for the tighter choke. And again, pretty good pattern. That's where I was aiming for. 25 yards. Seems to be pretty decent. Or no, this one was 17 yards. This one was closer. So, yep, tighter pattern. Let's go change that choke tube around. Set up again. Okay, we got that full turkey choke in. Got the gun reloaded. Eye protection, hearing protection on. See how this does. And we are empty again. Let's go down range. See what we did. And we aimed more over in this area with this shot. Definitely a tighter group. Again, this was 25 yards. Walk around the backside. And yeah, you can see all the holes through that. So I think I am going to leave that full choke in versus the modified when we do the sporting clays shoot this coming weekend. Because most of our targets, I believe, are going to end up flying 25 yards or further away. So again, 25 yards here, shot in the same general area, so we've got a combination of the two. Pretty well peppered. Would not want to be on the receiving end of that. Ground's a little wet out here still. And we hit this one in the front. And it looks like we had pretty good penetration with that. So I'd say rabbits at 35 yards. would definitely be a good clean kill. Let's go see this willow. This one again was only 17 yards out, and you can see the difference. Between the spread of the modified and the spread of the full choke. So I guess near targets, if I'm shooting at flyers, will have to be a lot more spot on with that full choke, but I've got better chances of multiple strikes. And hey, look, here's our wad. So, have not mowed the lawn yet. It's just gotten into the 50s today. So, we'll have to get the lawnmower out, get this stuff mowed, and jump into the summer part of home ownership. So, thanks for watching. Hopefully we learned something about spray paint cans and shotguns today, safety, and the importance of patterning your shotgun so you know what range you're ethically able to take shots at game and not just wound things. And of course, in America here, the United States, any migratory birds needs to be non-lead shot. Stay safe. Happy shooting. Thanks for watching. And here I'm going to do a couple of just quick point shoot exercises. Again, I've got the fiber optic sight mounted closer to the receiver on this out of necessity because my vent rib had failed, so that had gotten removed. And since we painted over it, I've got a full choke in this. This firearm is loaded, safety is on, and I'm going to test the point of aim using both eyes open to make sure my fiber optic rail and my front bead, that those things co-witness with my left and my right eye to my target. Let's see what happens. And so far as I pull them up, the sights do come right in line for me. I guess if I am following anything through the air, it'll give me a reference to keep my barrel pointed in the correct direction, consistently anyway. Let's see what happens. Get the safety off and take a shot. Oh, wait a minute. Double feed had a malfunction. Fail to eject. All right, try it some more. Again, another fail to eject. Clearly, we're going to have to do a little bit of maintenance on this. Try a couple of different types of ammo. But again, this gun was just sprayed and reassembled. So I had all of the oil, all of the lubricants removed when I did the finish on this, and have not oiled any of it. So that definitely could be our problem. starting to get a little warm. Not hot. The paint staying put. The sight stayed put. And they did seem to co-witness between my fiber optic rail and my front. Looks like the timing was right because the wind took the target out. So that's the fun of the sport. Well, that's a neat trick. So apparently we were close enough that the shot would enter and that the wad still had enough force to punch itself into the cardboard. Same thing up here. You can see where there was another wad hit, bounced back, and then 2 other shots, and then the wad cup stuck in to the cardboard. Crazy. Anyway, off to do some maintenance and oil the shotgun. Full penetration with 12 gauge birdshot 7.5, and we were probably only 12 yards, maybe 10 yards from the target. Thanks for watching.